Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. The last time I filmed was for the New Year's Eve video and it is currently February 6th, I believe. So I thought it was time to sit down and film. So for today's look, I decided to do a red inspired look and I'm thinking about adding gems and stuff. It's inspired by a makeup post that I saw a few days ago. I don't remember who posted it, but if I remember who did, I'm going to post the link down below. But this look is inspired by that person. So if you want to keep on watching and see how I created this look, then keep on watching. So first I'm going to start off by tying up my hair and getting it out of the way. So I already did my eyebrows off camera and I used the lock-on liner and brow cream in Espresso by E.l.f. This is a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills dip brow. And yeah, this works wonders. So you can get this at like your local like drugstore, Target, Ulta, yeah. And the little disclaimer, don't look at my nails. I'm getting them done tomorrow. I have been having these nails on since Christmas and I haven't had the time to go get them done. And this one fell off yesterday and this one's on its way over there. So I'm finally gonna get them done tomorrow. So just don't pay attention to my nails, please. So for primer today, I'm going to be using the E.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. And I'm just going to take that on a finger and just start applying it to the areas where my pores are more open. I love this primer because you really feel like a difference when you're starting to blend it into your skin. And it really does seal and create a barrier for your pores. So for foundation, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Foundation in the shade 280. I have been using this foundation a lot more recently than the Maybelline Fit Me because it is really good and very full coverage and I love it. And it's just, it gets the job done. First, I'm going to shake it and then I'm going to put some on the back of my hand. Now I'm going to take this Beauty Blender by Morphe and I'm just going to dip this in here. And I'm going to start dotting it around my face. So now I'm just going to blend that in with the same Beauty Blender. I don't know if you guys can tell the difference in coverage, but you can definitely tell that it did cover most of my acne scars, but some of my darker ones are still peeking through, but not as much as they used to. But when I put on concealer after I apply the foundation, everything should be covered up for the most part. For concealer, I'm going to be using the E.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. And I have to get a new one because I don't know if you can tell, but it's like basically gone. So yeah, I have to get a new one. But this is in the shade Medium Neutral and this concealer is like my go-to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the applicator and I'm going to start putting it under my eyes and lifting it upwards to have that nice lifted effect. I'm going to put some on my Cupid's bow. And I'm going to cover my acne scars that are still peeking through. I'm also going to put a little bit on my chin. And some on my forehead. And lastly, I'm just going to apply some at the end of my eyebrow. And just to clean that up a little bit. The thing I love about this concealer is that the applicator picks up so much product. So all of this I did with just one dip and I just put it on. I didn't have to re-dip my concealer or anything. It's definitely worth it. You can also get this at an Ulta, I believe. And you can get this at a Target and stuff. I got mine from Ulta. Now with the same Beauty Blender from earlier, I'm going to start blending it in. So with your eye part of it, a trick that I like to do is taking this part right here and start dabbing it into the skin. I don't like to drag it. Some people like drag on their concealer. I like to just tap it until I get the effect that I wanted to, and I blend upwards to give it a nice snatched facelift. Try to get as close to my waterline as possible, but not in my waterline because I don't even think that's safe. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but this side is definitely more lifted than the other side. Now I'm just putting the concealer all over my eye as a base for my eyeshadow that I'm about to apply in a few. Now my next step is eyeshadow. So for eyeshadow today, I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Volume 2 palette. I chose this palette today because it has a lot of the colors that I'm kind of aiming for. Like I'm looking at this color right here, this red, and this red right here. All for this Valentine's Day look today. So the first shade I'm going to take in is this shade right here called Next. It's like this wine color shade, and I'm taking that on my JS12. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to focus this directly on my crease and start building out a winged out shape. And I'm just gonna pat it in there, creating this like winged out shape. So this is the shade that I'm gonna be using as my base. As you can tell, it goes upward a little bit, so it follows my crease line and then it goes all the way up a little bit past my brow tail right here. So for the next shade, I'm going to be taking my Morphe M506 and I'm going to be dipping into this red shade right here called Living My Best. And I'm just going to blend this shade into Next. So I'm using circular motions. Doesn't matter if it goes a little bit lower than your crease because we're going to cut it anyways. I'm making sure that I'm blending out this color close to my brow bone but not touching it exactly. Now actually I'm going to be dipping into the shade Crazy with the small angled brush. I'm just using the JS7 by Morphe, and I'm just going to start creating the same shape that I made first but just in a line. You can kind of drag this one a little bit. You don't have to really blend it in because it's just going to be there as a sketch line. This is going to help me kind of see where I want to cut my crease later. And for the last step before I cut the crease, I'm going to be using my JS13 and I'm going to be dipping into the shade. I'm going to go with Oh Hello, and I'm also going to go in with a little bit of Crazy and a tiny bit of Next. So those three colors together on the same brush. And what I'm going to do is with that line, I'm just going to kind of buff it out a little bit so it's not so harsh. For this, I'm kind of using like windshield wipe motions. So now I'm going to be taking a little bit of makeup remover and a Q-tip. I'm going to be dipping my Q-tip into this water. Did you guys see that? I just spilled water everywhere. But I'm going to be taking a little bit of this makeup remover and putting it on a Q-tip to cut my crease. What you're going to do is follow the line that we created earlier. So now that the crease is cut, I'm going to be taking just a random flat brush. This doesn't have a name on it, so I can't tell you where it's from. But I'm going to be taking some concealer on the back of my hands. And I'm going to be using this flat brush to cut my crease. So this is what it looks like after I cut my crease. So I'm going to be taking my Morphe M508 and I'm going to be dipping into the shade
12 seconds later.
Crazy. We're going to dip into the shade Crazy and we're going to connect these two lines together. So I'm just using stamping motions to create that. So you can kind of think of it as like a winged liner, like when you do your eyeliner. It's in that same shape. Now we're going to go back in with the Morphe JS13 and we're going to dip into the shade Next. And we're going to start blending this upward into that previous shade that we did earlier. And I'm also going to dip into the shade Hello and start connecting the dots. Now with a fluffier brush, I'm taking the Morphe M506 and I'm going to dip into the red shade that we used earlier, Living My Best. And we're just going to just connect this up here. And we're also going to blend this down here. Now going back in with the Morphe JS13 and dipping into the shade Oh Hello, Crazy, and Next. We're going to darken this up a little bit. And we're also going to be going back with the M506 and into that red shade. And we're just going to top this off. The thing I love about this palette too is that it is extremely pigmented. With the clean blending brush, I'm putting no product on this. This is the Morphe M441 and I'm just going to just blend these shades together and kind of blend it upward as well. Now to finish with the lid space, I'm going to be taking my Morphe M224. It's just a flat brush, And I'm going to dip it into the shade Certified, which is this like creamy shade. Now what I'm going to do is pack this shade onto where my concealer is. So for this, I'm just using patting motions. Now that is it for the eyes for now. We're still going to be doing more to it later. And now we're just going to move on to the actual face part of the makeup. Now I'm just going to start bronzing my face. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer Medium Deep. And I'm going to be taking my Real Techniques contour brush. And I'm just going to smile without my teeth. I'm just going to smile and start seeing where I want it to be chiseled out. And I'm going to blend this upward. Now for blush today, I decided to go more on the pink side since, you know, Valentine's Day is like red, pink, and all those colors. So I'm going to be taking the Milani Rose Blush in the shade Tea Rose. And it's cute because it's in the shape of like a rose. And like these blushes are so pigmented. So I'm just going to be taking a normal fluffy brush. I don't know where I got this one. I just have this one laying around, and I'm going to dip my brush in there. Now I'm gonna smile again and place it on the apples of my cheeks, and I'm also going to blend this into my contour as well. Now we're going to finish the eyes. So I'm going to be taking my Morphe M508, and I'm going to dip into the shade Crazy and Next, and I'm going to start connecting this into my waterline. Now to blend this out, I'm going to be taking the JS13 again and Living My Best from the same palette. And I'm just going to start doing circular motions to connect them together. Now for the part that I'm looking forward to the most, I'm going to be applying face gems. I think this is the first time that I do this on my channel. I got these off of Amazon. They came in a pack of, I believe, 25 or 15 different colors. I don't remember. I'm going to put the link down below for these face gems. They weren't that expensive. I think the whole pack was like $8.99, $9.99, and they work really well. I'm going to just apply that all where the shadow is, and I will be right back. I'm now going to apply mascara. I'm going to be applying the same mascara I always do, which is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Curvitude in Very Black. And I'm going to curl my lashes first. I like to apply my mascara by looking down and brushing upward. So I just have my mirror facing down beneath me, and I'm looking straight into it, and I'm taking my lashes and I am taking it upward with the curved side of the mascara. So this is how my lashes look without any falsies on, just mascara. Now we are almost done. I'm going to be doing my highlighter next, and I'm actually going to be going into this eyeshadow palette that I recently just got. I've been wanting this palette for so long now, and it's finally here. This is the Carnival XL Pro palette by Stacy and Be Perfect Cosmetics, and it's just like so many colors, and it's just so pigmented, and I live for this palette. Like, it's absolutely amazing. It's just so amazing. The colors are so pigmented, and everything just blends out so smoothly and nice. So I'm going to be going into the shade right here, Gold Deluxe, and a little bit of Fair Play. I'm gonna mix a little bit of those two together, and I like how it has like a really big mirror here. And I'm going to be taking the brush, and I'm just going to start applying the highlighter. You see how that just glows instantly? Like, oh my god, this highlighter is amazing. Okay guys, so I just decided to apply some red lipstick, and I just put some clear gloss on top of it, and this is the final look. I absolutely love how this look turned out. I don't really like red lipstick, but I just decided to put it on because I thought that it matched it, and I think it complements it very well. So thank you so much for watching today, and if you liked today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you would like to see future videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave a comment down below on looks you want to see next. So yeah, that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I will see you next time. Mwah. Love you. Bye.